Hey everybody, Jordan here with Engage Magazine. This weekend I saw the premiere episode of Season 4 of Sherlock, and Sherlock is one of my favorite TV shows produced by the BBC. While this episode is really unique, it hasn't lost any of the Sherlockiness that we as fans love from the show. So Sherlock is still Sherlock. He's still going around solving cases in a very abrasive manner, very rude, very not really caring about anything. At least you don't think he does. He doesn't act like it. And John is still John, and Mary is still Mary. The only difference is now there's a little baby. And so we get that interesting dynamic of seeing these three characters plus Mrs. Hudson and Molly coming together to form a sort of family around this baby. So the episode at least starts off as a very charming episode, you sit down and you think, oh, this is going to be such a fun episode. But unfortunately, that's not the only thing that makes this episode unique. So everything we as fans love about the show and the characters in the show, everything is threatened in this episode. And when I say everything, I literally mean everything is threatened. And so the previous 3 seasons of this show really set up the relationship of John and Sherlock and Mary now. That's the core of the whole show, is that relationship. And that's where all the action honestly takes place. Everything else that happens in this episode sort of focuses on that. That's the core of this episode. And so that's what is threatened the most. And so if you plan to watch this, just hold on to your seats because it gets pretty messy. Definitely if you're a hardcore fan of this series, it gets pretty emotional, so be prepared. Now at the end of season 3, we're kind of left with a lot of questions as to Mary's character, and a lot of those questions are answered in this episode. But those questions are answered in such a way that you realize that all of that drama around Mary's character and all that mystery was actually sort of a red herring, sort of a distraction from what the writers have coming down the line. So this episode definitely serves to whet your appetite for the next 2 episodes of the season. My personal reaction to the episode while I was watching it was the first half was so just what I loved about the show, just the quirkiness of the character Sherlock, the intricacy of all the mysteries that were going on, and it just served to keep me on my toes waiting for what was coming next. The second half of the episode tore me to pieces. The second half of the episode was much more emotional, much more deep, and it kind of left me a feeling of just a lot of sadness, really, just a lot of, So while it's an excellent episode, and I really recommend that you watch it if you want to keep up with the show, just be prepared because it's hard. It's a really hard episode to watch, especially if you love the dynamic of Sherlock and John and Mary and that strange family that they have going on. Just be prepared because it's pretty hard. So anyway, stay tuned because I want to do little reviews of the next 2 episodes that come out for season 4, which should be pretty soon, so stay tuned for that. And if you like this video and you want to see more like it, please put a like on it, hit that thumbs up button, and comment down below if you've seen the episode. Just don't spoil it for anybody. And as always guys, share truth, apply scripture, engage magazine on net. We will see you in the next video.